I guess you don't want to start it.
Oh, I didn't know you would.
That was I was pointing for you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so we went down to Ridgeway, Colorado, a few days ago, and we went to the Black Canyons mountain, and we couldn't really. That was our main goal, going down there, but it was closed most of it. We didn't know that till driving up for a
Until
little
we got
bit.
to the top.
Yeah, but
Couldn't go anywhere.
the girls got sworn in for little park rangers, so I thought that was kind of neat. And when we couldn't really do the Black Canyons, we went to Western.
It was Old West Museum, and we just happened to see it on the way.
Yeah, but it was like it was $30 for all four of us to get a 2-hour tour, and I want to say it was 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
We closed it down.
Yeah, we did.
It was like the good old days. We closed the bar down.
Yeah, they did 2.5 hours for us.
But Jim was our instructor, and he did a great job. So we decided to make a video of going through there. It's a lot of history in there. We wouldn't have known as much about it if it wasn't for him walking us through stuff.
You had a choice. You could either do a self-guided tour, which would have been cheaper.
Yes.
Or you could have a tour guide, and we decided to do the tour guide. But if we had just walked through, we wouldn't have known any of the real history on it.
Yeah, I mean, he's worked there for years, and he went through everything with us of how they collected some of the stuff, where it came from.
He told us it's haunted.
Yes, it's haunted, and the ghost hunters.
Ghost Adventures. He said
Ghost Adventures.
have
There's
done.
a house there that they did stuff.
They did a show.
Yep. And he showed us one of the houses there, for that. But it's a great video. It's a good educational one for the girls.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't want to lose it or anything. So we want to put that on there. Hope you guys enjoy it. And then the next one after that was going to be the Arches. So that's coming in a couple days, but we'll see. We're here at Ridgeway State Park in Colorado. Look at this awesome slide they have to this lovely little beach here. It's a beautiful 70-degree day. Here's Sarah. She's going to go down. We're going to track this one. It looks fun. Who has a slide to the beach, you know?
Ridgeway does.
Yep.
I'm gonna hurt my butt.
You'll be fine. I'm down here. And here she comes. Hey! You gonna do it, Chi-Chi? Right here?
I'm dizzy.
You gonna do it?
I guess you were supposed to lean back.
Look at these awesome little views here. Look at it in the back there. Beautiful. Got a cold front coming through tonight, so we'll see what that does, but it's a nice little opening for us. So as you're at the playground here, if you turn around, that's the views of the mountains you get. Beautiful with the snow on top. Awesome. That's the $550 million highway up there. Oh no, here we go. We got some action going on here. Whoa! Look at that. Yes! Chi-Chi is attempting the hugest slide in the whole nation in Colorado to the beach. Here she goes. Dun, dun, dun. I'm ready, Chi-Chi. See if we can see her coming out here. Keep your head down. I hear something. Whoa! She has done the impossible. Great job, Chi-Chi. Good morning. These two want to get sworn in for some badges.
Rangers happen to be on a phone call,
Are they? Okay.
and they are doing a job interview.
Hello.
We are. We're trying to finish up an interview, but
They
how can we?
have somebody who wants sworn in.
All right. Well, this is very high priority stuff. I can get a marker and then I'll meet you guys. And do you If you move this way with me on the counter,
Come this way.
I'd like to give you a choice. So one or the other is what you can have as your thank you and reward. You'd like a badge? How about you? Would you like a badge as well? All right.
Yay!
Hold on, you're not done yet.
All right. Well, I'm excited that you guys did this. Get your book. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna meet over here,
Come here.
and then we're gonna raise your right hand.
Look.
From your right way. Should be opposite of mine. There you go.
The other one. Yep.
This isn't the one.
Okay. And then you're gonna repeat after me, okay? So you say I and then your name.
I'm Sarah.
Very nice. Pledge. That's okay. Pledge to
Pledge to
preserve and protect the things that make Ridgeway unique.
pledge and protect
The things that make Ridgeway unique. Good job. To respect the animals,
to respect the animals,
small and tall,
small and tall,
fast and furry.
fast and free,
To respect the rivers,
to respect the rivers,
lakes and mountains,
lakes and mountains,
reaching to the sky.
reaching to the sky.
Nicely done. Good
Yay!
job, guys. All right, I usually, since these have
You got badges?
very nicely done. Thank you guys so much. What do you say? What do you say? Oh, you're welcome. I'm
Thanks
so
for
glad
taking
you
the
guys came.
Let me see you, Leah. Let me see your badge. Take your hand. Look at that, huh? Park Ranger Leah.
I can get this one.
Uh-oh.
Daddy, I bet I saw a black thing like that.
Look back here. You got owls here.
Daddy,
Whoa!
Daddy, I don't know if you saw this one.
Hold on.
Look at that little one. I want to pet it. I can't reach it. That one we saw.
That's the crane, yeah. Uh-huh.
I said fly, fly.
Yep.
And then we had this like so how would it
You get it?
Hey guys, we're at the Black Canyons of Colorado. You know, Deborah doesn't like heights, and she like jumped out of the car before I could even get it in park because of this view that you're getting ready to see, you know, here. This is one of the steepest mountain ranges around in Colorado, but look at this. Oh, holy. Wow. We'll get a little bit closer, just give some time for some people to go look for a minute. But yeah, getting on some more hiking today, some traveling. Let me see. I'm sure the wife's getting a lot of pictures. Here is yes, baby. Like drive down? What do you mean?
No, like there's a walking.
Oh.
Want to do it?
Oh, you hear him? Yeah.
I see.
Wow.
Not tall enough.
Can you walk? And move it.
Okay, ready for a closer shot? Stay there, sir.
Just go.
Stay there. Ooh. Okay guys, we're at the Western Museum in, I guess, are we in Ridgeview? Still Colorado, or where are we at?
Where are you right now?
Yep.
You're in Montrose, Colorado.
Okay, Montrose, that's right, Montrose, Colorado. Get ready to take a tour.
Okay, because you can see, we're going to just get started here now. This was all begun by a gentleman named Mr. Fike. Mr. Fike was the There's a picture of him over there, and see the
Uh-huh.
painting next to the music machine there? Okay, that's him some years ago. He just looks the same, just looks a bit older. And he is an archaeologist and a very recognition. And he started collecting. He started collecting all these things when he was 4 years old.
Wow.
And he saved all kinds of things. Everything you see in here is his collection. And he is of course, he is the man. He's the head of the museum now. This is his museum. So we'll start our tour here.
Okay.
This is well, I'm just going to pass over quickly. These are just some old artifacts here which he had. The key thing here, these are all guys from just about World War II. All these artists you see here. The gentleman right there, Ronnie Fike, that was Mr. Fike's father.
Okay.
And that was, I'm sure that was in the 1940s, that picture was taken. This weapon here, before we get lost, if you've been up in Ridgeway yet.
Yes, that's where we're camping.
Okay, that's where you, all right, very good. Right near the park there was a building that they were excavating for.
Mm-hmm.
And when they excavated, they dug up a clod of dirt which they cleaned off.
And they found that.
Right there. And this is what they're,
Huh.
what they have. They got a 4440 Colt,
Yep.
fully loaded except one round had been fired out. Turns out that's where an old outhouse had sat.
Uh-huh.
So somebody shot somebody
And
and dropped the weapon into the outhouse. So that's the weapon right there.
Huh.
Okay. The saloon here, which is the Miner's Delight Saloon. The cover of the saloon also came from Ridgeway when we were filming True Grit with John Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
This was part of the movie set. When they were
Okay.
tearing it down, they asked Mr. Fike if he'd like to have it. He said, sure, I'll take it. So here it is. That's part of the True Grit movie set. Okay. The bars on the windows were not bars on the windows to keep people from breaking in. They're to keep the drunks from falling through the windows and breaking the glass, because glass was so expensive and so hard to come by. It actually shipped from east of St. Louis, and then was shipped out west to these places who needed glass. So we're going to step inside
Okay.
and watch your feet. Show us if you come in here. There you go. Hey girls, what is that hanging on the wall?
Yep.
What is it? Now I'm going to teach you something, okay?
Ours are bison.
There are no buffalo in North America, but there are bison in North America. And all these creatures that we see that we call buffalo,
Mm-hmm.
bison. No, guess what? We're not going to change it now because as far as the whole world knows they're buffalo. But it's kind of fun just to play that game over there. Oh, that's a bear hide. And it's
We learned about that.
Yeah.
He learned
that's
about
a roulette
buffalo.
wheel. It's a very old one. It says, please, table is very fragile. Please don't touch it. It's a very old table.
Yep, a deer.
Yep.
Oh, okay, yes, a deer, very good. It is a deer. It is. Okay, the music wheel here. This machine used to play, and quite honestly, I'm back to work after a hiatus through the winter. My wife's finally decided she'd let me out to do tours again. See if this still works. How about that? The music wheel and the bells are playing here.
Going to the dentist, Sarah.
Going to the dentist.
Come on, the dentist.
1880s dentist.
A lot of alcohol in there. Come on, okay, girl.
You can hear the song. It's coming over the top. See the lights in the other room? Okay, now is 1880s. That's a long, long time ago. And a lot of things have not been invented yet. And they have dentistry. The first thing you want to see is the dentist has his tools.
Yep,
in
there's
here,
tools.
as you can see.
Yes, I know skeleton.
And he has a skull too. Well, he's just thinking about it. So you have a skull right here. These go back to, these pre-1900 on these. This happens to be a woman's skull. You say, how do I know that, right? Because I didn't know her name. But I do know, because it's real smooth on top, that it's a woman's skull. A man's skull It's lumpy. It has bumps in it and all that sort of thing.
Hmm.
Woman's skull is nice and round.
Didn't know that.
That's what you tell her. They could also ask her name. It was in the right. It was actually located about 10 miles north of here, in a small community up north. It was very, very popular. It stayed in business up to, I think it was in 1940s that it closed.
Wow.
Really picking, kind of picking is that. We'll start on this end down here.
Come down here.
Okay, I'm gonna just close this off.
Oh, there's your cigarettes.
Okay, down here is where they did prescriptions. So the pharmacist is back here. You do his thing here.
Baby dolls.
There were a lot of medicines to choose from. A lot of them that we wouldn't. They probably dispense drugs that we need a license to do. They frown on you having them at all. And but these pieces of paper back here, I know those are not round. They're rectangular, and they're stacked on these spindles. There's other rows behind them, just like this. Those are all copies of prescriptions that have been filled.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That was a record system.
And see in the back,
GoPro.
another full row in the back, and we have others in boxes upstairs.
Yep. On the medical office, 1885.
Once again, the doctor had no electric lights.
Relax.
This is the way the doctor worked. Yeah, there's
Typewriter.
now,
Why does he
see
have
the skull in this room?
It's the doctor.
See the lumps on this skull?
Yep.
That's a male.
That's a boy, or a guy, or a man. But other than that, he's the same handsome person the other one was. You have little medicine bottles here. Each one of these are numbered. These are all the numbers written on the back. When you take one out, you see the little amounts of powdered product in it. You had to be very hard to work with the limited lights that you had to work with in these places. Of course, there's the famous bedpan that they used. A lot of young people have no idea what.
No, yeah.
This is called a Japan. You familiar with that term?
Uh-uh.
Well, a long time ago, including as a very similar product, still sold today, is still used the same as it was back then. They might not call it the same name, but it's a Japan. If you have a blow to the head, like hit by a horse, and if you're bleeding under your skull, well, it's important that you quickly address that. They take this and they cut a hole right through your skull, take the plug out, and let the blood relieve the pressure from the brain, and then just bandage it shut, and eventually it'll cover with bone again. That's what these are for. And this, we have a really old one here. This one is brass, as you can see, with wooden handles on it.
General merchandise and dry goods.
Grocery store. Grocery store.
This is a version of Wally World.
So you folks are from where did you say? I'm sorry.
Atlanta?
Atlanta. Okay. Then you're nowhere near Nebraska. Okay, so.
Nah, never been to Nebraska.
Okay, this post office you see here. See it back there with all the little buttons? That actually came from
Oh, cool, yeah.
Nebraska. It was down by Mr. Fike's home, and he went back to visit one time and saw they were tearing down the post office. He said, "What are you doing with this post office?" The guy said, "Oh well, he took the drawers and stuff, and he took it out and threw it out at so-and-so's farm." I said, "You what?" He said, "Well, can I have it?" The guy said, "Man, you can get it. You can have it." Here it is. It was in mud. It's been raining for a long time. They had to dig it all up.
Some candy.
She said no.
But the part facing the windows is from about 1890, and this side over here is like 1900. They're about
Wow.
the same. The wooden gizmos you see up here, those are planting tools, like planting potatoes and things like that. That's what those are for. You can see everything is very mechanical. Once again, you see the dates, see the toys up there, they're cast iron.
Yep.
Little light.
Look at all the
Plastic
toys.
hasn't been invented yet, so it's all cast iron.
Candy.
You stop, sir.
No. He said no.
And those canned goods all the way.
Benny.
Tailor and dry goods.
How about we not touch
She has
everything?
babies.
Okay,
Here's your clothing store, sir. Look at
we're in
this.
an older clothing store.
Wow.
And we'll kind of go through the very special things that are in here, okay? First of all, you get the early clothing. This was, look how dark, it was always dark and heavy. This was before the women had liberation. They wear these dark clothes all the time, and I think it was the what's the name of that period I'm looking for when the ladies finally broke out and changed to more colorful garments. Anyhow, this is what they wore. They had high top shoes like this, usually in black, a lot of laces on them and things of this nature.
Don't get too close, Chichi.
This device, now I actually had these used on my shoes. The Red Goose Man, it's called Red Goose shoes. They're very popular all over the country at one time. And if you had a little spot on your shoe that was pinching your toe, they put this inside your shoe like this and squeeze
Widen it up.
and bend the leather out and stretch it out over with the tight spot.
Oh, okay.
And the odds are it would never bother you again after that. So, and it worked. I had it done on my shoes. Okay, Mr. Pike's office. The boss isn't here today. We have some guns in here. Do you hunt at all or do anything like that? Or?
No, we haven't.
Okay, that's fine. It's going to go faster that way. Yeah. But what I'll let you know is this just came in. And it's in the process of being authenticated right now, but they're sure it is. This weapon was used at Custer's last stand.
Wow.
There's only 15 known of in the world today.
Wow.
And it's been going through authentication. So far, everything is perfect on it, is being correct. There's one last test to be done, and it'll be accredited. But it's this is another weapon. I don't know much about this one.
Cool.
I do know this one. This is a pretty neat one too. And I'll just finish up with a small restoration on it. This is Butch Cassidy's saddle. Here, there's gun. This is called a morning cape. Civil War lady had a couple of sons lost in the Civil War, so they would sew a cape like this, and then the cape was made with black beads. Each black bead represented a tear that was shed for the person who was killed. And they would wear this for a year. It's called a morning cape.
Ooh.
That's what that was. That's what that all about. I'm giving you again the thumbnail version of this.
Gun!
Headdress here, very authentic. That's real one. The, very antique weapons through this part.
There's our Civil War.
Civil War, probably in here, there, here. These weapons with the studs on, these were used by the Indians. The Indians put the studs, the patterns in your weapons. The pattern represented the tribe.
Okay.
So that's what these are about. The Indians were well armed. In many cases, the Indians were more well armed than the cavalry they were fighting against, because they were trading beaver pelts and things for weapons, and the guys traded excellent weapons for them. Unfortunately, it was very difficult for the guys on our side of the program. These combs you see here were lice and knit combs. Everybody see the silver combs in the back, and these brushes. Well, the brushes were natural bristle, so they didn't stay long. The bristles would break off. So you never find one with bristles in it. But everybody had lice, so they couldn't escape it. And even they get them out of your mustache and things like that. And so they had these little things for all kinds of personal purposes. These things here, and of course wooden-handled utensils. My grandfather, my maternal grandfather, August, he would eat only with those. He wouldn't eat with the other silverware until he passed away. That's all he would use. These down here, the wooden tube, and this one here, are opium pipes. Opium was not smoked in this country until they were building the Transcontinental Railroad. When they built the Transcontinental Railroad, they brought in Chinese laborers, which the Chinese came opium. Within a year, I think it was over 1 million people in this country were addicted to opium. Anyhow, from then on, what you see is what we got. And it's, okay. We're doing a timeline actually, if you'll notice, along, 1930. Wild West magazines. Again, still what you don't see yet is plastic. No plastic in here. Everything's metal. Okay, after 1930, still see some metal toys, metal cars. etc. These are ration stamps from World War II. Here, if you're limited how much flour you could buy, how much this and that you could buy, and the government, you take a ration stamp and use that to apply for to purchase it, and then the butcher, baker, whatever could limit the amount of quantity of your ration stamp.
Oh, come back. There's all the cameras. And the years on some of them.
It was more like this. I remember the King Award.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
If you wish, when I get outside, we'll just kind of keep our spacing a little bit.
Yes.
By the way, I like the color of your hair.
Thank you.
Mommy, a lot of people like
Come on.
I know.
This is the Wagon Works, Wheels Wagon Works, Carriage Works. This was in downtown Montreal. This is on Colorado's Registry of Historic Places.
Okay.
They moved it out here, which the building of this structure is one of the most difficult things you could possibly do. And we restored it once it got in. It was really dark gray. Its history is great. I'll talk to you more about when I get inside. But we just brought it back to look like it did in its heyday. But it ran down from then on as we stepped inside. But this is the water. Okay, this is the
Blacksmith area?
the blacksmith area, correct? And we have in the spring when, except for this spring, which we won't, we have school tours. All the school kids come through, hundreds at a time. And so we guys all work. We all take areas of our own. I normally get the dentist and doctor's office. And I wear a white
Everybody
smock.
has their own, yeah.
And I'm the doctor.
Ah,
you know,
cool.
So the questions I get are phenomenal. You couldn't believe it. Carries heating oil and things like that. And it's stored.
in this.
And you can see it's just amazingly strong and heavy. Look at the axles and the wheels and things on it. And this heavy duty springs. So loaded, who knows what it would weigh. I think it goes 1887 is the weight on this tanker. So I think it actually came from back east, like Oregon or Washington State or something like that, and it came here and was restored. We sent the wheels off to the Amish to restore and they're just experts at this sort of thing, and so they did the wheel restoration on it and restored it.
Awesome.
So I just can't imagine what it weighed when it was cold. It was too long. And the brakes, all you have for brakes was these pads pushing against the wheels. Now, I guess you all know what these are. Is that right? I give a quarter to anybody who knows what those are. Well, I'll tell you what, I've never lost a quarter yet. What these are, see what it looks like? See this? On horses that are draft horses and carrying and pulling these things, anything from milk wagons to whatever, where they spent their day out pulling things around. Well, their worst enemy are flies. Flies bug them all day long.
So that would keep them off from moving?
They get more ornery and they stomp and stomp and stomp and make all kinds of noise and just shake around like it's always trying to get those flies off. So these things go over their back, and as they walk, they move like this.
Yep.
And they keep
They keep
brushing the
them
flies off all day long. That's
How long did it take them to come up with that?
Yeah.
It's a gas pump?
What have you missed in your life? My father's driving the 39 Buick, and that's when he got back from war in 1946 or 7. And anyway, we stopped in Black Hills of South Dakota. I just recall this plain as day. There wasn't anybody around. It was deserted. There was a little, like a training post service station sort of thing, but they only had one gas pump and nobody around, except some gal working the counter inside. So I just recall what he does. You take the pump here, the handle, and you pump it, and this measures how many gallons it has in it.
Oh, really?
2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
up to 10 gallons. Depending on how much you want. Then you put this in your car and pull the handle, It drains down.
And it goes all the way, so it pumps. Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
So
And you can see it. I think you can see what you're getting.
yeah.
General store. You got the sheriff's office. Ooh. Stop hotel. Gunsmith.
Lights on the shelf. Okay, now you can step over without hitting yourself here.
I know.
Can you do that?
Way.
There's a, good for you. You found a way around it. Here.
I was the first one that went.
We paid the extra nickels. We go around this side over here and get inside this thing.
Hey.
Okay, this was another. It was almost like a convenience store. How's that help?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of everything. That seed counter you see that each one of those drawers takes seed out you bought by the pound. That's a 30-drawer seed counter. They're rare as hen's teeth. There's hardly any of these things in the country at all. So that's really a neat one. A few canned goods. This string dispenser is cast iron, as you see.
Uh-huh.
Fella came in here one day and wanted that thing so bad. Sorry. Because it finally came to him that the reason they were like that, of course, was if the door was open and the wind's blowing and your string is hanging there, then you're trying to find the string and it's blowing that breeze.
Right.
So the big weight kept the ball there so you could pull down on it and keep the string straight. So
Look at the
it worked
jewelry.
well for them. Over here we have some older irons. Dan Gray's household items.
Jewelry.
Posters that says, now,
Don't touch one of
this
your
thing
girls.
right here is
I'm gonna call. Yeah, I don't know why.
Going in the sheriff's office. Dave Boyd.
aha. Who did that? Who did that? Scared me half to death. You know that? I walk around all day and tell people to be careful not to fall over these things, and I fall over on myself. Why do we let it lie there while we're doing this?
You did it. Yeah.
Calm down. Wait up, girls. Whoa, I didn't see that
Let's
one there.
start over here. A lady called one day, this was a few years ago, and said, I have a jail in my backyard, would you like to have it? This was in Ridgeway. You haven't been to Ridgeway yet, but it's down the road.
Yeah.
You
we have.
have been
Uh-huh.
there.
Yeah.
Ridgeway, right there in the backyard. And Mr. Pike says, sure. We'd like to have it. She said, well, my grandfather was sheriff of Ridgeway County.
Oh.
And when they built the new jail, he wanted the old one, he put it in the backyard. Well, that was years ago. He's gone now, but the jail is still laying out in the backyard. If you'd like to have it, you can have it. Well, you have no idea what a jail weighs. They tell you what this.
We need one of them for these girls.
So we'll go in there in just a moment and talk about that jail further. We have these big
Wait.
safes here. I think we're looking at over 1,000 pounds on this one, and maybe 500 pounds on that one over there. These are almost impregnable. They're just big dudes. The sheriff, of course, sat here. Normally the sheriff's desk sat so he could see the windows.
Never want to have your back.
Never have your back to the windows. Walls.
Here's
They
the
were so
jail.
heavy that if one person started feeling towards him, he couldn't possibly hold him. When you walk through, just swing the gate
Just
open.
feel. Oh my gosh. Look, there's the potty, guys. You share a potty with everybody. Scoop, walking.
So
Goodness.
on Friday night, when the miners were all out getting rowdy and getting drinking excessively, they'd probably fill this thing up with drunks.
Yeah.
But there were more beds in here that wasn't quite as tidy. They'd fill them up with guys, just like everybody using the same pot.
Yep.
It'd be quite an adventure, I'm
We
sure.
have in jail.
And of course, in
Four
the morning they'd
people,
dry them
I
out.
mean,
But these
5.
cleats on here were, depending on how the jail was set up, they could hang hammocks off of these things, or chains if you want to chain somebody up to it.
That's
So
true. Yeah.
And
they have
here
all
it's
kinds of uses
freezing.
for this. Would you help me over here a bit? Stand over here and line for me just a moment. Sure, man. Hey, like that, you know. He said, okay. He handed me a gun. He said, I want you to stand here and hold this gun up like this. Which I did. I held the gun up. And he said, okay. Good. That's good.
That's all he needed.
And what? That's all you want? Yeah, that's all I need. I just want to see what your fingers look like. The reason it's painted on here because in our effort to make everything authentic,
Mm-hmm.
these days, so it doesn't seem chasing into the wall. All these things were painted on. Okay?
Okay, let's go in. Let's look through it.
If you're turning in, you should go along in your turn.
I didn't get
Go
you.
back this way.
Come here, Leah. Come here, Leah. Come here. So I'm gonna get you in Bull Durham, baby. Into the saloon.
Jerry!
Which one goes? Which one?
Lights.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine. That's fine.
That's Jerry.
That's Jerry.
I'm so proud.
No, that's why the
No,
rope's there.
you can't go up there because the fire department says you can't. The
Jerry.
anyhow,
It's like we were in Dodge City. We went in the saloon there.
really,
Yep.
I'll see you, right? This
Why is he using
Relax.
this saloon was in Telluride. And
Mm-hmm.
Telluride did not mean skiing, pizzazz. Think mining, bars, drunks, everything, just whatever. Just think everything you can that goes along with a mining town. And don't think anything glamorous because it really wasn't like that at all. But this was one of the nicest bars in Telluride
Mm-hmm.
at the time. This was called the Clipper. And it was here it is in business. Here's guys standing at the bar in it. And you can see it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Cabinets, a big mirror. However, its life is different than you would think. After the mines closed, it sat empty for a bit. It sold and came down to a town down the river called Delta. And it was set up as a saloon in Delta where it served for quite a few years. In later years, the saloon, then probably became a tavern, that's what they call it later. The thing burned, and when it burned, it was badly damaged. The bar actually burned so badly it fell right onto its face in the floor. The columns, some of them had holes burned through them into them. We were able to obtain it at no cost to ourselves, of course, because it was junk. But Mr. Fike and a team of guys, after one solid year, restored the bar to its original
Wow.
look. And this is the way it looked. You can see, you won't even find an indication that it was ever burned. Because here it is
Yeah, it looks exact.
in the saloon. So actually, this is really popular. We get a number of big companies coming in here shooting commercials and all kinds of things. And so a lot of stuff goes on in this room. Actually, somebody rented it for a day or two, shooting some kind of
I know what his name is.
some other event they were doing. You ever watch Ghost Adventures?
Yes.
Did you ever see the adventure, the one with this?
I'm gonna have to look for it.
Yeah, because he
One
has.
is at the museum. You'll find out a lot of interesting things we're not talking about, like the dead lady in the first saloon we went into.
Mm-hmm.
She was in there. She was cleaning or something. I can't recall what it was, but she died. When she died, she was on the floor. Nobody knew she was there. A clock on the mantle is still there. Over there.
Mm-hmm.
When she died, that clock started. And it hadn't been running in years. In fact, Mr. Fike was unable to get it to go. It wouldn't start. When she died, the clock started. When she was
Wow.
buried,
It stops.
it
Stop.
stopped.
Yeah.
And we deal here with ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you what,
Mommy.
I can tell you some stories that can make you understand.
Wow.
When they gave it up, then these two states both got a port on the Gulf. Before that, there wasn't such thing as that. So they did give it up. Here's Texas, of course. The original Texas annexed was all the way up to there, all the way up to Wyoming, as you can see. And that was all what Texas was annexed at one time, was that big piece right there. And here it's ceded by Mexico in 1848. All of that up there, that whole thing was ceded by Mexico to us at that time in 1848. Wouldn't they like to have that back today? And, I just think this map is
Yes.
fantastic.
Uh-huh.
We have people stand here And they'll stand here all day if you let them just study the map. And it's like, folks, we got places to go and people do. You can't stand here all day, you know. But it's phenomenal. And notice how thinly populated. This map was made in 1900. So Texas had obviously not filled in nearly as much as it has in the last years. And it's amazing. We're here. Wow. I was totally, some days when we're not busy, I'll come over here and just stand here with the map.
Right.
It's really interesting.
I guess it's the books in here, but it smells like my grandmother.
Going in the home. Let's see what we got here. Go, go.
Better wait till you clean up, you're talking to myself. This is the Montgomery Ward house. Honey, you cold? Are you guys cold? Norman?
Are you cold? You should have got your jacket on.
Here, I can sit for a jacket. I can here, put this one. Oops.
Actually, I'm not cold.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
This is a kit house. You could buy this for under $1,000. X amount for freight, X amount for materials, etc. Under $1,000 bought the whole thing. Wow. I had it installed. I had it assembled for you.
Out of the Sears catalog?
This
Montgomery
was
Ward.
Montgomery Ward one, that's right.
Same deal, same package, same thing.
You just get all this, everything delivered to you, right? Just
Yes, you got
like by pallets type.
everything in one shot.
Wow.
So this was their sitting room out here, their dining room was here, and their kitchen was there. Except it was a huge kitchen room. But anyway, your dining room set looked like this. This was one of those things you never use but 2 or 3 times a year. Thanksgiving, Christmas, maybe Easter. And that would be the time to use it. The rest of the time you mail the magazine.
Wow, there's a kitchen.
This is a kitchen.
Yep.
Wow.
This
Kitchen.
is what the people at the
Come here,
back
go.
here. The question I always ask, except you're not asking this, you should have asked. Why do people never smile on these pictures?
Oh, I know that answer. See, that's right. Well, for one, it was not happy times, and their teeth for the dentist, and everything.
They're not happy because of their teeth. They're not happy.
Yeah.
But if you turn them around, you think you got it pretty well in line. We've pretty much been determined it was their teeth
Yeah.
that caused them to do this. There used to be other theories, but it's all kind of come down now to teeth. But
Look at that wood burn stove.
kitchen, that's some of that carnival glass in yellow, which is really rare. You don't see that color very often. Mostly they're pink.
The well water will do that for you. For free.
Think so? Pretty think it's unwell water. So they have the pantry here, the cupboard to keep appliances in.
That stove and oven is awesome.
In my use,
Like the subway top, it's back.
used being a long time ago.
Look, this thing's dirty.
First,
Whoever owned this house recently.
I worked in a factory. We put porcelain on stoves. And I
Look at that wood burn stove.
kitchen, that's some of that carnival glass in yellow, which is really rare. You don't see that color very often. Mostly they're pink.
The well water will do that for you. For free.
Think so? Pretty think it's unwell water. So they have the pantry here, the cupboard to keep appliances in.
That stove and oven is awesome.
In my use,
Like the subway top, it's back.
used being a long time ago.
Look, this thing's dirty.
First,
Whoever owned this house
I
recently.
worked in a factory. We put porcelain on stoves. And I
Good. The schoolhouse.
The old merry-go-round was picked up. Those things are worth a lot of money. They're very
A
expensive.
lot of injuries came from that thing, I'm sure.
Probably.
It's not a weld on it.
Come here, girls.
I think it was before welding.
I lost the girls to the horses. Time to go to school.
We're late, the bell's ringing.
This was a giant school. It was south of town.
Mm-hmm.
And
So it's a real school.
it's a real school. And it was moved here.
This is where they hang
That
all
was
their
bought
stuff.
by the locals for their kids, and they built the school.
Mm-hmm.
And then the kids then later, some years, moved to a bigger school, of course, and it's sat empty. Farmer used it for various things and whatnot, but we obtained it. brought it back to what it was supposed to be like.
Cool. Let's see.
Hey.
Hey.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. You could open that. Because you're special guest here. There you go.
See your school desks?
Look at this person's drawing.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Of course, there'd be several classes going on here one
I need to
time.
sit in my seat.
There'd probably be at least 2 more rows of desks in this room also.
Yeah.
This is all we have. So, what you see is what we get.
So you get more donated to you.
That's right.
That's the teacher.
This is the teacher's desk, of course. There'd be an outhouse someplace out there, of course, for to take care of needs of the children. And the teacher had a kerosene lamp here. Electricity wouldn't have been around initially when the school started. She had a couple of days. I have spent hours
Webster's.
total looking at this dictionary.
Mhm.
This thing is phenomenal. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
That's a real drawing.
It's a dictionary. Notice how fine print it is,
Ooh.
and the number of words, and it continues on. There's no repetition. It's not full of maps and pretty pictures
Yeah.
and stuff. It's all words and definitions. And it's just amazing.
Cursive.
Of course, the teacher was here, and this is the teacher's. This is how she kept order.
I was gonna say, where's the beating stick at?
And it's, this would take care of it. And there was one more here. Where did it go? Got it. One of them actually had the handle.
With the holes in it?
No, it was cut to a shape of a handle on the end. This one will suffice, I'm sure. And this is the way they kept order in the schoolhouse like this.
Ring the bell when it's time to come to school.
I think my person's an artist.
Get in their seat. Seats. I'm coming around. You have your homework on you? Okay, this was your homework last night. Webster's Dictionary here to read every word. No trouble. Detention for both you two. Sarah and Leah.
I was in grade school if you didn't be
Where's the teacher?
make your copy, paste in the dictionary.
Yeah. The girls get to ring the bell to school. Ah, look at that, huh? Each girl gets to ring the bell.
Wow.
Awesome.
Daddy videoed it. So you
Yep.
can see
Okay. Let me see. For teachers would stay the single teachers.
I guess you just put it in the window. They took it out of here and put
Okay, let me look at.
Sorry.
You're fine. Sure.
No, you're not because he did. So it's this one.
Daddy, because you were the teacher, you have to wear this.
I had to be single though.
You can buy
Just
these
stay
in
here.
various places. You'll see them in some stores.
Cool.
But Daddy,
What?
because you were the teacher,
Uh
She's saying you gotta wear these clothes in here.
Oh, what?
they're
So
beautiful.
this was the teacher's living room,
They're beautiful.
kitchen, if you would. She had a little gas
They're
stove
mint
thing
ones.
here.
They're
I mean,
mint
gas like gasoline. And
You have to wear that because you were the teacher.
Yeah. Look at the bed,
of
huh?
course you'd have an
Oh, it
outhouse.
has a rip.
But that's all they had at the time.
Stop.
Why is there a toilet?
Okay, I'm crazy.
Get through. Whoops.
I can talk.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she had to get that out of a well or a cistern, whatever they had down there. It could have been a cistern also. The difference being the cistern doesn't have this water's put into it versus getting out of the ground. And so she had a place for her bed, her potty, her little